and the ancestors are looking out for us. God Hayes is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under it. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV. Young.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young.
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young.
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Shalom alaikum.
Young TV.
Drag queen. Hey, sweetie, how you doing?
Good. Thank you for bringing me back on. Sorry that we got disconnected, I guess.
That's okay.
I'm not gonna hold you long. I guess I want to pick back up, where I left off at. You were speaking about the flip about how I'm from Oxford, North Carolina, and you were right down the street from Oxford, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So what I left off at was that how I entered. My parents had me very, very young. My mother was 12 and my father was 16. So my grandma did all the raising, right? And a lot of how I came up and how I was brought up in a small town. I think no more than like 4,000 people, if that. You grew up with your cousins and your cousins lived down the street and and all that good stuff from the country. But a lot of stuff that was taught to me and that was instilled in me from my grandmother was passed down from her mother and her mother's mother and all that good stuff. But as I sit back and I look at what's taking place and how literally I've chosen to be incarnated in these times that we're in and putting the pieces together and listening to great teachers as yourself and Blue Pill and Yaki and my good brother B-Dale and a couple of others, just putting things together for myself. I often find myself trying to take what's being said and rewrite it in a way to where it can be, I guess, decoded for the people back at home. Because when I go back home with this, it's like, what is she talking about? What's going on? But the bloodline is so deep there and so rich there, that it's like a yearn for me to want to show them and want to tell them what's going on. I guess so. My question would be, being that we're ushering in this matriarch energy, and for the people from the small towns like as myself, or the people that seem quote unquote small, even though I know there's many of us here everywhere, what is the best way, or in what way should I continue to go about carrying out the mission?
Well, it depends on your skill set, right? What was you already doing? Because when you get drafted to do this spiritual work, the life that you live in is either training you for it or it's the path you walking on your spiritual journey unfolding is the life you live,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you have a particular set of skills, those skills, like I know how to read codes.
Mm-hmm.
So the tribes need me to read the codes so I can tell everybody what's going on behind the scenes based on the codes I'm reading,
Mm-hmm.
right? You might have a different skill.
Teaching. Love.
So
I love. Yeah.
remember, the teacher's job is to free the child's mind to see the future they want to live.
Right.
So you can spend time with children, teaching them to see bigger than the life around them because life is bigger, and the bigger life is, the more beautiful it glows.
Mm-hmm.
You teach them about the gold in their heart, those things that make you feel warm and fuzzy. Keep
Mm-hmm.
doing that shit because it's making that gold in your heart grow. You tell the children the stuff that make you smile real big, that's what you want to do more of to make that gold in your heart grow.
Right.
The stuff that make you feel bad that you did it, that's slowing down that gold from growing that's in your heart, right? And by exercising the golden rule, treating people how you want to be treated, then you don't build up the negative energy and you begin to see life as a beautiful opportunity to experience this 3D reality before you go back into the non-feeling spirit realm.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It teaches them to free their mind. When you tell a child they can do anything, you got to give them examples of what you mean,
Right. Absolutely.
right? And we gonna be when the matriarchy fully online, we gonna be doing resort schools for people that homeschool to come in and learn how to use certain psychic abilities for gifted children, and they all gifted.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to find out and teach them how to tap into their psychic strength, which is
Right.
like teaching an X-Man how to control his superpower.
Hmm. Agree. I agree. I agree. Uh, just thinking about what you're saying, my grandma used to always tell me, you can do anything, that you put your mind to. And everything that I touched, literally, I grew up doing basketball, track, volleyball. I played 7 different instruments. I read music, just different avenues of, you know, her pushing me to express and find my different ways. Applying it now to my adulthood and listening to what you're saying, it is that warm, fuzzy feeling that you can attest that, just seeing people having that aha moment that, oh, I get it now, or especially seeing it in children where they already know. You just have to remind them of what they already know, what they're already coming into. um yeah, I feel like it's purpose in how I came up and where I've come up from. Especially, I'm still trying to figure out and learn my whereabouts of where I came from, as far as being from North Carolina and deep rooted there. But just wanting to make sure that I feel like the bloodline is in my hands, and just to be able to touch and reach everybody possible.
So it's stuff you can do community wise to like go to all the different churches and have a meeting and gather all of the different churches church mothers together.
Mm.
That's a matriarchal powerhouse unit waiting to be used by the matriarch.
Mm.
So all they have to do is select one as their senior representative
Mm-hmm.
to be put on the database and tell them what our resources are, what y'all need in y'all area, stuff like that. this next phase, when it come online, is going to be about food, clothing, and shelter.
Okay.
It's going to be about freeing political prisoners held by the corporate fiction. It's going to be the chief speaking to the masses to tell us that we was once out of control, under the control of a foreign agency, but now we have regained control of the land and our resources.
Absolutely.
And we came back for everything they owe, and it just so happened they owed us everything.
Mm-hmm. So going into the church, right? Because I was too raised in the church. You know, bringing that subject up about, I guess where we come from, how we came about, and all that good stuff. You kind of touch on the aspect of Christianity. You know, a lot of the church mamas, they ain't gonna want to hear that. About the whole what Christianity really is and all that good stuff.
You don't have.
So,
That's not the point of bringing them
right,
together, though.
right,
You're not bringing them together to argue Christian ideology.
right.
They can still believe what they want to believe,
Mm-hmm.
but you just asking them to be part of the matriarchal community that's in charge of getting resources to the people in your community. That's it. They can still hold on to their limiting beliefs as long as they believe in doing community work,
Right. Mm-hmm.
right? Or as a church mother, fulfilling her church mother functions of picking people in her church to do community work according to what the interest of their church is. Some churches might want to have youth leagues
Mm-hmm.
where they do things with the youth, but another church might want to run food banks,
Right.
right? Another church might want to set up housing for homeless people and displaced mothers. You see, but whatever they pick, they just trying to put a team together that can handle the resources getting to the people without the people being exploited.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. I didn't think about it like that, as far as going back to my roots and how what I was raised off of, going back
Mm-hmm.
to, the familiarity of things and starting from there. I get so passionate though when it's time to start talking about like the truth, because what I really want is for everybody to be liberated, even though I know everybody can't go. Um, it's just still one of those things. It's like I want y'all to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like I really want y'all to get it so bad, so bad.
So when all this over, one of the things I'm gonna be doing from my house is sending for all my relatives to come in small groups.
Mm-hmm.
But when they get there, um, I'm gonna have like my mother's sisters
Mm-hmm.
and brothers gonna each have a book at my house. When they children come,
Mm-hmm.
they get to fill in the family tree for that line, who they is, the children they had, the children that their children had,
Yeah.
right? So once I put all this together, then when we get down to newborn babies, I'm gonna duplicate it, and then all of the people in the book gonna get copies
Hmm.
of all of the books,
Right.
not just the one, right? And that way they know who is who in the family,
Mm-hmm.
where they at, if they want to have a family gathering, how to contact everybody, right? But that's just, somebody else might have a different aspiration.
Right.
They might only want to deal with their grandmama's sister kids because they the only ones they like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that's just a different tribe with a different structure. Right? So they'll go hang out with them, but they would do something similar,
Mm-hmm.
according to their wishes.
Right. Right. That's one thing I will always do. Like my grandmother now, she's 82 and she just stopped working fully about 2 months ago. So she's been working, strength, real strong strength. And one thing I'll always do, even from a little girl all the way up until now, I always be like, Grandma, tell me when, so and so, so and so. Grandma, how did, y'all come up? And she has enlightened me from her mother and three mothers down past before her, and just the different ways of what we knew, and different ways of how traditionally what we've been taught, and I'm blessed to say that I can pass that down now to my daughter, like you're mentioning, leaving that book behind for her as well. So yes, sir, I thank you so much.
Yeah. That's it- all of those things is just reconstituting the tribes using modern understanding of society applied to ancient stuff we used to do. So Big Mama always had a book that she used before we had Bibles. They started writing them in the Bibles. But before that, Big Mama always kept a record of the time, the date, and the year that the child was born because she can go there and plot out his astrology chart, and then she know how to teach him to prepare for an obstacle in his life.
Mm.
Oh, I need to get this baby for a couple of weeks because he got this thing coming up.
Right,
Right.
right.
She done got so good at astrology over doing this with so many, she could just look at the birth dates now and
Mm-hmm.
know what the stellar alignment is for that child and how best to help him navigate his future life obstacle so he can be successful in assimilating life lessons and applying them to his life as he grows. Different big mamas got different customs.
Right.
Some was palm
Mm-hmm.
readers. They call all the babies in and read their palms, right? Some was tarot readers. Some was cowrie shell readers, right? But they use them to always help the child navigate a difficult life process by having them pre-informed of what this could be coming up and how to adjust. So it's like having your own personal life strategist. That's why
Mm-hmm.
Big Mama get to know all her kids, even down to the great great grands, because she need to know which child she need to spend time with to prepare him for spiritual combat.
Right.
But it don't
Right.
look like that in the physical. It look like she just called in to have you bring the baby to see Big Mama.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm.
Right, go on, girl. I keep it for the weekend for you.
Mm-hmm.
All the time, she, putting protection energy on her, probably get the baby massages, whispering commands in her ear so she'll know when you face the demon, face him with no fear, stuff like that. Look, my man, France, Fanon, right,
Mm-hmm.
wrote in one of his books, I think it was Thick Face Black Heart. He said, long gone are the days where the young mothers, would sing the songs of liberation in the ears of the child so that the child can become the standing army of the next generation. Oh, bring back the mothers who sings the songs of liberation in the ears of the babes.
Mm.
I said, go, boy, he cutting up over here. That was talking about returning to matriarchy.
Right.
Getting
Absolutely.
from mothers saying my son bad to my child got a lot of energy. He a real boy.
Yes. Absolutely.
If you keep telling
Absolutely.
the child he bad, then he's going to meet your expectations of bad actions because you've programmed him to perform them well.
Absolutely. I say that a lot, especially with her. Everybody says, oh, she's so nosy. She's so no. She's observant. She's taking in information of her surroundings so that she can know, how to dissect and be able to, have her own sense of mind. I'm just here to give her the tools. She already knows what she needs to do.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you teach them a sense of self when you tell them when you see the world, see yourself as the center, because
Mm-hmm.
you're the center of your own world. That means that you control it in layers away from you until you control the whole world. But you start with self first.
Right.
Be the change you want to see.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. I truly appreciate it. And then thank you again for allowing me to come back on.
Mhm. You're welcome. I knew we had some technical difficulties, so
I like I said, I feel like I'm speaking for the small intricate people who's, been placed throughout. You know, we have a lot to say.
look,
It's especially
it's a lot we can do, but to tell you the truth, I don't really focus on it because most of us is too lazy to do it. Or if we got the ambition to do it, we too overwhelmed and occupied with our current day-to-day life. We can't find a way to get it done,
mm-hmm.
right? Which is more than the lazy.
Yeah.
There's more people that swamped with their life that can't help, but they want to help so bad, right? I accept that energy and I perform the function I'm performing. So the least amount of people is needed for the success of the total venture.
Mm-hmm.
As you need more people, you gradually start building and reaching out, and more people will come according to the awakening and the process that's taking place, right? So now we at the part where the matriarchy is in power. The government is seated, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's not fully seated. Mothers, clan mothers across the land need to make a network connection of clan mothers across the land,
Right.
right? That was the purpose of the original public service announcement earlier. And by connecting them, they solidifying the power of the matriarchs. And once we got every state represented sufficiently, then they can roll out resources into the community. But then we'll see that National Guard presence and other things playing out as they making the alliance. We watching the corporation crumble as they gain in strength and power.
Mm-hmm.
And the best way to do it is to link as many um, together as possible. And Empress Redbird gave the call last week for the clan mothers to begin to reach out. And we don't want to debate doctrine or philosophical differences. All we want is the clan mothers to agree to the great law and to make a connection across the land so that we can effectively enforce the great law from a tribal perspective as opposed to a military presence of a foreign agent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Absolutely. I was once told, again from my grandmother, she said that once all the women's cycles started syncing together, that the world was changing. And lately, I can attest from not only friends, I've asked a few, co-workers, a lot of women's cycles have been, sinking as far as some been saying that it's been doing something a little iffy where it's been, coming on earlier, staying longer. Um, and then on top of that, I was taught how to, read the weather for what it is, how to, go outside and smell water in the air and how to be able to, just be in tune with what's going on outside and the inside so that you can be aware of the actual change that's approaching. So in a test of that, just being in alignment with all the mothers of the land, to get ready to. I feel like women are kind of bracing themselves right now for something that's great, even the ones that don't even understand what's going on. I honestly feel that, this change that's already here, but it's getting stronger. And sooner or later, we're not going to have no choice but to acknowledge what it is.
Yeah, it's coming fast.
Yes.
So the reason why their misses will sink is this: the elder women that's doing the spiritual work are like Tesla coils of energy. Every time they meet a group of sisters on that same frequency, they sync. They call it the syncing of the Sibyls is what it's called. The syncing of the Sibyls ties them into the prefrontal lobe of the collective unconscious egregore. It's the driver's seat of humanity. They become the conscience of humanity. And as the elder mothers sync, which means tie into one another, then the up and coming mothers begin to sync with the elder mothers by proximity. So she was giving you a great sign of the returning rise of the matriarchy when all of the women's menses sync. But the thing is, for a period of time while they all synced, none of them are going to get pregnant. It's a spiritual working that's taking place, and that energy will not facilitate a zygote being able to go to the first trimester. And so most of them will never know if they got pregnant during that period because they're going to spontaneously abort because all of the uteruses is doing what we call genetic cleaning of itself in order to facilitate the new codes of the next DNA program of the species known as humans.
Wow.
So when they sync up, they correcting all of the DNA errors. The mitochondria been scanning the whole time, all DNA. So when they sync, they know how to correct the problem because you got so many scientists and doctors that's had eyes on so many parts of the body that's going to be synced in the same frequency that they'll automatically put the answer together to the problem. This is why they were always utilized in Atlantis, because once they sync, they can solve any problem because they in every walk of life.
Right.
So now they can draw from every walk of life to bear upon a single problem. And it gives them so much overwhelming information to solve the problem that it's simple.
So it's like we're helping helping her shed,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
So we facilitators of the process they call evolution, but the Darwinian model is just the wrong interpretation of the model of evolution. The women's mitochondria upgrade the codes that's on the codons of the DNA. And when she does that, the species of hominids change. Our bodies begin to look different. Our physiology begin to take a new form. So we don't look like Neanderthals or Cro-Magnon man. We look like modern man, right? Which is distinctly different from any other australoids they've excavated to this point. Because the mothers, we live out a certain period of time under a set code. This is why the future is wrote in advance as the history. So Elijah Muhammad say every 24,000 years, the 24 scientists convene to write the history of the next cycle. So they always write history in advance because they label the script out, then you play the script out. You can't play the script out if there's no script to play. And then
Right.
everybody write their book of life and contribute to the script in order to give it substance. Right? So when you look around in the world, you're seeing all of these people are seeing everything we looking at from a different angle than we seeing it. How many people can you count? That's how many different directions can be bared upon one topic.
Right.
Now,
Right.
when you use your holographic memory, you able to see the world from everybody's perspective that you see looking at the same thing. So now you can see what everybody else see, and then you can add it to what you already see. You have more information for decision making than you would if we would have only relied on what you see alone. That's the only reason why we read, to learn different perspectives, and it's weightlifting for the brain. It's physical fitness for the brain. Otherwise, we wouldn't need it.
Right. Right.
Right. So it's exercise for intelligence to become more intelligent. And it allows us to use the holographic paradigm in order to see every problem from so many angles that we automatically got to find the solution. Because we already know
Right.
that the solution to the problem is always in the problem itself. It's just how you look at it that determine if you could see it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, sweetie, it's been good talking to you. I thank
Yes,
you for
sir.
coming up and gracing us with your beautiful presence.
Thank you. No, thank you for having me once again, and thank you for everything that you do and how you just serve. You serve all of us, and you serve the purpose. So I thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetie. All right, I'm gonna let somebody else come up now, okay?
Alrighty, peace.
All right, peace. I bring my sister up, the high priestess, see what she doing. Christina, you better not be then left. Shit, I think Instagram stopped me from taking up guests. Let me look up and see what this is. Okay, she wasn't there. Damon Dim 2050, what up, Chief? You right, Drakeru. Dr. Ra Haru. Yeah, breaking out of the illusion. Okay, I got one more person there I can invite up. And if this one don't work, I'm gonna bid y'all adieu for the day. And Mac Man 144. Look, that stuff so scattered. You just have to read everything you can about the 105 facts about the American Indian. I think is a good one. Um, it's a book called, I think it's called When the Indians Were Black or something like that. It's a lot of books. I put a lot of references all through my posts up and down my page. Some of my posts is just book references. Those are down further in the post where it's just got a lot of good books. But if you want a good resource, go to YouTube and check out Karimu Ahu on YouTube, and he got the books. He be reading them to show you what he's saying, and he got video upon video hundreds of hours of him reading the academic materials that verify almost all the stuff that we be talking about. We just using it in real time to roll out the new government, and we at the grand finale now. So it should take only a couple more weeks for this shit to play out, but I can't tell you what it's gonna look like or how we gonna get notified. I knew that one of the things is that those CIA assets that was news reporters will be replaced by truthers. Yeah. Okay. I got one. Somebody just popped up. The last three people I tried to let in didn't come in, but this is a new person, so they probably got tired of waiting and left the show. But Blue